The Warlord's Captive, Alien Warlord Brides, Book 1. Written by Carlton. Narrated by Jacq Ainsworth. Chapter 1. Those damn mate dreams. Mate dreams. The antiquated means for one of Aiden's kind to find their one true mate since the days they'd crawled out of the swamp and become the race that they currently were, was a lie at best, a plague at worst. Aiden awakened, tangled in the sheet, covered in sweat, and reaching for the woman, his woman, who wasn't there. Again. Truth be told, she would probably never be there. Between the blasted territorial war between his own warship and the Drell clans, and the improbability of a human woman being anywhere near Vicreal space, the odds of his ever laying eyes on her were stacked against him. Worse than the chances he'd get a 7-course breakfast down at the chow hall this morning. Now that was a relative term for the crew of a ship dancing around the asteroid belt currently serving as the border between territories. And with all of the accumulated damage and weeks of skirmishes of the Drellian war cruiser Brundark, Aiden would count it as a victory if the chow hall on his mighty Yursk was serving more than toasted grain washed down by what the crew affectionately called atter juice. It didn't hold any resemblance to Vicreal coffee, aside from the indisputable fact that it would get your feet moving when you needed it to. But under the circumstances, what more could he expect? "Leave me be, woman," he muttered to the darkness of his quarters, as he let his arm fall heavily to the thin mattress. "I've got enough to do without you pulling at me." She wouldn't. He knew that. She would come to him with her snapping green eyes, soft skin, and silken hair the color of sunlight washing over the lands of his home, until he found her, or death released him from the need for sleep. She would haunt his dreams with kisses and caresses at the worst possible moments. When he closed his eyes so his tired mind could reach for plans to claim victory, it would find her instead. It was a battle he could never win, no matter how desperately he tried to hold the dreams at bay until quieter days. It wasn't her fault, but he'd be lying if he said he didn't blame her, at least a little, just for existing. He'd grown up on the stories of mate dreams. Nearly all of his kind had them. The dream was the only way their warriors' hearts knew whom to allow inside. The elders called it a blessing. They claimed that knowing who in all the worlds was destined to be your one true mate left room for more important matters. Maybe, when his race had first crawled out of Vecra's swamps, it had been. Centuries later, after the universe had swallowed them whole with their first flights into its vast...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?